My dear students, as we are talking about benefits of employee orientation to the employers, we have to continue on some of the more aspects of employee orientation. Orientation programs can also help shorten a new employee's learning curve. You know that whenever the new employee is going to join an organization, there is some learning curve. And that learning curve can be larger if the company and the employers are not contributing in it. So if the employee orientation programs are effective and efficient, then you may shorten the employee learning curve. Learning entails a great deal more than how to do one's job. Because someone is a part of your organization in initial days, she is not aware of what the organization is expecting, what kind of job he need to perform. So if employee orientation programs would be effective, then the person would feel more comfortable and they would learn about their new job in a best possible way. But in contrast, if the organization would not do the better employee orientation programs, the learning curve can be larger and it would definitely lead to the poor productivity of employees in a very starting days in the organization. Departmental orientation help employees become indoctrinated in the working of their unit, learning how it interrelates with other functions in the company. We already discussed this point that departmental orientation help employees to become the part of the organization, and it helps that how the department, his department, is interrelated with other functions of the organization. This is very much important to understand the role of his own department with the rest of the departments within the organization. Departmental orientation also begins the process of promoting open communication between a manager and her staff. So, employee orientation is a first step to open the communication. It is a first step which help employees that how they need to interact within the organization. And you know the communication is a key to success in any organization. And if the employee orientation program would be effective, then the communication between the newly inducted person, newly inducted employees and rest of the workers would be more better and more meaningful. Being prepared for your new hire's arrival, having an agenda prepared for the first day and being available for questions sets a positive tone suggested for open communication. So on the first day in the organization, obviously you need to prepare the whole agenda. You need to chalk out the whole employee orientation program so you can guide your newly inducted employee in the best possible way, rather than having no agenda at all or putting the newly inducted employees on wait. Contrast that description with what happened to one employee who we'll call Saqib, told to report to his manager office on Monday morning at 9 a.m. That is another beautiful example that if the employers are not interested in employee orientation program, then what would happen next? He arrives promptly and is asked by the receptionist to please have a seat. He sits and waits. After 15 minutes pass, he again approaches the receptionist, and obviously he would ask about his manager, who says she knows you are here. It will just be another minute. 15 minutes stretch into 45 minutes. Just imagine, you have given a time for 9 a.m. After 15 minutes, there was no manager, and then 15 minutes stretch to the 45 minutes. It's 9:45. Saqib feels uneasy and is left to wonder if he's made a mistake accepting his job. Obviously, the person would feel very uncomfortable, very uneasy that no one is following the timing in the organization and he need to wait for 45 minutes for his manager. Finally, his manager emerges from her office carrying a folder and a key. Saqib stands up, ready to follow her when she says, "Sorry, I am already running behind this morning. Here is a folder with some departmental procedure." This is a very poor strategy, my dear students. That you are not welcoming your new employee. You are just putting the person in a very uneasy and uncomfortable environment. How one of the person who is joining the organization the first day can understand the departmental procedure by looking the folder? So this is just a ridiculous thing in the organization, that if some of the employers are behaving in this way. So whenever you would be an employer in future, you need to behave in a very proper way with your newly inducted employees, and you should not follow such kind of things. You can go through them, and if you have any question, ask Saira. Who is Saira? Because Saqib was not aware of the who is Saira. Ask Saqib. She is the other analyst in our department. I'll try to catch up with you later. So this is a poor strategy of welcoming someone in the organization. So it should not be happening in the employee orientation program, particularly in the first day of the organization. Employee orientation program must be very effective. So it is a first step to make your employee comfortable with your organization.